Well, howdy, hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got a special little guest guitar here today. This is one that a customer brought in today. He called me up today, he says, hey man, got a guitar, need some MOJO. I says, bring it on over. And well, let me show you what we got here. I love that. Flipping the lips. Flipping the ooh boy. Looky there. Looky, looky, looky. What have we? It sure is pretty, isn't it? Yeah. This guitar belongs to Brent. And as you can probably tell with the little birdies on the neck there, it's a PRS. Oh yes it is. A PRS SE Custom. And he's never had it in. He bought it brand new, and he says it needs a setup. He's doing a couple little things he don't like, and he wanted to get some MOJO put in it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it out here, and we're gonna go give it some MOJO. I'll tell you one thing, it sure is beautiful, and we're gonna get a little closer look at it once we get over to the bench. I'll tell you one thing, man. You know, it sure is a beautiful guitar. Look at those inlays right there. Can't wait to get this one over here. And, you know, we're going to do the case on it and everything. Going to make it look real nice. Clean it all up real nice. Get everything playing perfect. Everything doing what it's supposed to do. So what do you say we get started on this one and get it over to the bench? Yes, sir. Alright, here we are over at the bench. And we're giving this one the eyeball just a little bit. It sure is pretty. Look at that wood on there. That is some nice stuff. You know, it's got some real nice pickups in it. Yeah, you know, everything's looking pretty good. Let's see what the back looks like. Very reflective, as you can see. There you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. It's very nice wood. Very nice. It's got a little buffoony right there, though. I don't know what happened. I didn't do it. But you know what? You know, that's what happens on some of these guitars. You know, they get, you know, something happens. You drop it, you know, strap comes off, something like that. Of course, that kind of stuff don't happen to me, so, but anyway. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You know, every guitar has a couple little nicky knacks here and there. He says that it's not, that there's some problems with a few things and just stuff like that. So we're going to go through it. We're going to give it the usual MOJO shop guitar routine. It's going to come out playing and looking better than it ever has before. So, first thing we're going to do is we'll take the strings off this. And what we're going to do is we're going to get out our string winder. We're going to take a little bit of tension off these strings here. And just take a little bit of tension off them. And as I'm taking the tension off them, I am assessing how easy these tuners turn. If they're turning really easy, you know, if they're turning hard, something like that, I want to know that, okay? So we got all those loosened up real nice. We're going to go ahead and cut these strings off there. That one's chunky. There we go. Alright. And we'll go ahead and get these strings off the top up here. Boy, sometimes you really got to wrestle the strings off there because you know, sometimes people put the strings on there and, you know, they do the best they can. You know, it stays on there. I guess that's all that matters. But, you know, there's a little art to it. There is a little bit of art to it. Ow! That one got me. Yeah. I'll tell you what, well, we're going to get these strings off of here. And once I wrestle these strings off of here, I'll be back. We just have a second. Alrighty. We got the strings off this, and we are going to start down here at the headstock down here. And the first thing we're going to do is take the truss rod cover off here. And And we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten up all the screws on these, all the nuts in the front here and all the screws in the back of these, and then the little screws on the side here. And we're just taking a little 10mm socket here. That's what these take. And we're just going over each one to make sure they're tight. We're not trying to cinch them down. That's why I don't have a ratchet on this or anything like that. But we just want to make sure these are good and tight, which they pretty much are. It's a good sign. Now we're going to flip it over this front here a bit, and we're going to go ahead and make sure all these little screws here in the back are tight. Just kind of go over and give them a turn. You know, you're not trying to turn them really any, just make sure everything's kosher. And, you know, they got a little turn of a half. Yeah, just a little mighty of a turn there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess these tuners right here. And that one right there feels kind of loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust these little screws right here in the end. Now if it's either too tight or too loose, you can adjust that screw right there, and it will put it back to where I'm trying to get all the strings or all the tuners turn at about the same, you know, the same difficulty. So if one's kind of loose, and so we'll give it just a little bit of a turn. I can kind of feel when they bottom. That one was loose. And this one here, that's a little on the tight side, so we're going to give that one just a little loosen, and that's about right where I want it. See, that one's still a little bit loose. We just keep fiddling around with these until we get them where we want them. You know? And that one seems like it just keeps wanting to loosen up. So I'm going to cinch it down just a little bit, see what it does. Maybe it just wants to be tightened up. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it wants. Yeah, well, we're going to keep going on all these. We're going to make sure we get all these, and when we get all these nice and tight and the right turn good, we'll be back. Alrighty, we got the tuners all working just perfect the way we want them. And now we are going to see if the neck is level. And I'm here looking for my handy dandy feeler gauge. Ah, there it is, hiding. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to want to see if this fretboard is flat, and we're going to try to get it flat as we possibly can so that we can level it and get all these frets taken care of. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to just set this on there, and it's not rocking back and forth. That's a good sign. So we're going to take the feeler gauge here, this little floppy little feeler gauge, and we're just going to set that. We're going to see if we can't get him behind there. And we can. Just a little bit, but it's not too bad. So that's telling me that we need to tighten up this truss rod just a little tiny hair. And this is one of them mugs that got one of them. I got to find the tool for that, so give me half a second. All right, I found the tool for the truss rod. It's got one of those little nut ones, not a Allen key like a lot of guitars are. But we're gonna. I think I got the neck all nice and flat. It doesn't. The feeler gauge doesn't go under any of these. You know, in between the feeler gauge or the straight edge and the fret. I'm testing the frets, and it's not going underneath air anywhere, so I know that I got it perfectly flat all the way across the top here. So, what we're going to do is set this aside, and I'm going to take my black marker, little trusty black marker, and I'm just going to put, let me tighten it a little bit. I'm take and put a little black line right across the top of that fret right there. And I'm going to do that on every last one of these frets all the way up and down the fretboard. And then we're going to level this fretboard, and we're going to take our leveling beam here, take this leveling beam, which is just an old level that I cut off a little bit, and there's some real smooth 600 paper on there. There's probably more like about 1,000 right now, but what that does is it's going to take off this. We're going to take the marker off of there, and when we take all the marker off there, we know that we've got this board perfectly flat and level. So that's kind of our that's our indicator as to when we get down to being level. So we've got the board good and level right now. Now we're just leveling the top of the fret, so the top of those frets are perfectly level right across the top. We got it as close as we can by adjusting the truss rod, but now we're going to get them super duper level. So when we get done leveling this out and marking all the frets and stuff like that, we'll be back and show you the results. Alright folks, we got this beautiful, beautiful neck all leveled out, smoothed out, polished the frets. Well, we're going to polish the frets just a little bit more here in just a little bit. But what we want to do first is we're going to clean this thing up real nice. Get all the schmutz and stuff, junk like that off it. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of good old rubbing alcohol here. And we use the rubbing alcohol because it gets all the grease and grime and everything like that off of there. But it does not soak into the wood real bad. And as you can see, it dries up really quick. So I can clean up all the nasty grease and grime and stuff that gets on your from your hands. That you get on the guitar while you're playing. And it cuts through all that junk, but it doesn't soak the wood down. I don't want to soak the wood down. I'm just trying to get it clean. And what this does too is it gets the wood all dried out real good. Okay, dries out the wood. So when I hit it with some coconut oil, which is what I use, it sucks it right up. But I use coconut oil because it's not real oily and it doesn't soak in a lot, because once again, I'm not trying to soak the board. I'm trying to just hydrate it, protect it. So I'm not going to try to get all, All right, there we go. Got that sucker all cleaned up real nice. Now what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to hit it with some coconut oil. It's going to take a little dab on the end of my finger here. Just a little bit. And we're just going to kind of go up and down here, putting a little bit, put a nice little coat. I'm trying not to jam it into the frets, I don't want to put a whole ton of it on here and have to, I want to try to jam it in between the frets and everything like that, but I'm trying to get it in the little cracks of the wood, get it in there so it can get everything all soaky and, well, not soaky, but it can get a little bit of hydration and then get some love. And what this does, it keeps the inlays in there good because it keeps it hydrated so it doesn't dry up and shrink and then they fall out. That's what happens a lot of times. Things dry up and shrink because they ain't got no moisture. They don't see no love. You don't bring you got to bring your guitar to somebody who's going to do those things to it every once in a while. Guitars, for all the people that are listening, please listen. Guitars do not come ready to play. You can play them, but they ain't ready to play. They need to be set up first. They need to be gone over and adjusted. That's why they come with tools, because you're going to have to adjust it. They just get it in the ballpark. If you tune that thing up and you tune up your brand new guitar and start playing the notes up and down the neck and looking at the tuner as you play those notes going up and down the neck, you'll see that it's probably sharp. So, we go through and then we make sure that every last one of these notes up and down that fretboard is playing perfectly in tune. And, we stretch the strings out so that, the guitar stays in tune. We do all the things that it's going to take to get that guitar sounding and playing just beautiful. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to leave this coconut oil in there for a little bit, not very long. And I kind of just keep rubbing it in, because the temperature from your finger will loosen it up a little bit. We'll make it get a little bit melty schmelty. Okay, and then once it cools down, you get the cooler air. then it hardens up a little bit. It gets more solid. So we're gonna let that sit there for a second. Now, what's the next thing we can do? We can go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and wipe this off. What the heck? Go ahead and wipe this off. Let me get a clean piece of rag here. Old sock. Everything works good. We're just gonna wipe this off of there. And we're wiping the way I'm wiping it here so that I'm not pushing stuff into the frets. I don't want to like that, you know. Not trying to jam it under the frets because I'll loosen them up. I'm not trying to get it, you know. And besides, that's where the stuff hides. You know, everything on the fretboard likes to hide right up against the fret. So I don't want to put some grease in there. I just want to do it this way. I figured it makes more sense. And a lot of this, a lot of things that I do with these guitars, it just seems to make common sense, you know. Our root. Now look how nice that's looking. Can you see that? It's looking beautiful and hydrated. And boy, look at those inlays. Ooh, dog. Well, doggy. They sure is looking good. Yeah, hell yeah. Anyway, next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this sucker over. And we're going to address these. Well, how about we do this first? We're going to assess that knob right there. And, sometimes I don't like pulling knobs off, and I don't think I'm going to pull that off either. Because it does seem like it's loose, so, well, that's a push-pull, isn't it? Alright, we're going to leave it alone. Does that feel okay? But we are. I'm going to take our screwdriver and check, make sure these are where they're supposed to. Okay. Oh, that one's a little bit loose. Okay. And then we're going to come back down here. We're going to make sure that these strap things are all good and tickly tight. They are. That's good. Okay, now we can flip it back over. Flip it over. Take the back cover off here. Can we see that? I'll move that down a little bit. Alright, and maybe we'll widen up, and maybe we will. And maybe we'll move the guitar in a little bit. Hey, there we go, we're in the shot now. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and take this off of there. That's a crying shame we got that little skid mark there, ain't it? I was just thinking I got a little bit of red stain. I might be able to stain that up a little bit, make it a little less conspicuous, but that is not my call. This is my guitar. I might do it. It's like somebody's already been sanding on it a little bit just to get it so it's not all rough. But I probably could stain that up a little bit, half a T-Williger. Alright, let's take this cover off there if we can get it off there. There we go. Now let's see what's in there. Hey! Push-pull pot. A couple of little suckers right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to get in here and we're going to try to take a look at this. I just want to make sure everything's kosher. We got everything grounded right. Everything's right where it's supposed to be. Nothing is touching. Nothing is wrong. Nothing's coming off. And stuff can get hinky. So what we're going to do is I'm going to inspect this cavity here. He said he had a little bit of trouble with the things, with stuff kind of sounding scratchy and junk like that. So we're going to see if we can't do something about that. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and take this jack out of here and clean that up a little bit. And when we get done with that, we'll be back. Well, we went ahead and cleaned all the pots out. All the pots in the back there. And we cleaned the three-way one. Yeah, the three-way switch. Yeah, three-way switch. Yep. And this bottom one here is a push-pulls. And we cleaned that out. And now we're ready to go ahead and put the cover back on it because we checked all the wiring and we make sure that everything was looking good. I didn't see anything that looked like it was doing anything bad. And we didn't really have any problems with it to begin with, so we're going to go ahead and put the cover back on there. And what do I do with the screws? Oh well, we'll find the screw. Oh, here they are. Alright. The screws, put those right back in there. And then we're going to flip the sucker over. And we are going to take a look at the front of it and stuff like that. Make sure everything's kosher up there. And then we're probably going to put some strings on it. After we get it all cleaned up real nice, we're going to go over and clean it up real nice. Get all the little things off of it. There we go. Okay. Flip it back over. And yeah, that neck turned out real nice. Looking real good and nice and hydrated. Everything's looking perfect on it. Okay. Got the frets all nice and level and everything like that. Gonna be playing real good. The knobs are turning real nice and easy peasy. That's the way they're supposed to be easy. And we're just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get a little bit of, I'm gonna get a wet cloth, and I'm just gonna wipe this thing down and wipe it and dry it with a wet and dry cloth. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We'll wipe it down so it looks real nice. Maybe give a little shot of our patented spray wax to get it looking real ooh clean. But one thing I do want to do before we get going here is I want to radius these pickups. I knew there was something up here I needed to do. Okay, so let's tighten in here on these pickups. Ow! All right. Now you can see that we have these pole pieces right here, right? Okay, we got on each one of these pickups here. What we're going to do is we're going to put these pole pieces. We're going to match these to the radius of the fretboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our radius gauge out here, and I'm taking a wild guess that this is probably a 14-inch radius. And put that down there. And I am wrong, and it's not a 14-inch radius. Let's try a 12. 12 is not right either. Let's try a 10. Find it. There's a 10. Ah, man, what, we 9.5? Well, let's see here. Well, it looks like we're going to have to dump this stuff off. I got to get some of this stuff taken care of. Bada boom, bada bing, over here, over there, over here. Make space. Let's see if we can't find what I'm looking for. 17, no. 9.5. Ooh, there we go. By George, that's what it is. It's got the same radius as a fender would. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our yeah, I guess you guys couldn't see that because you were zoomed in, right? All right, well let me zoom you back out here for a second, okay? All right, what we did is we took this radius gauge here, and we figured out that it is 9.5-inch radius, and the radius gauge says 9.5 on it. So what we do is we take that and we stick it down here on the fretboard, and we see it rocks back and forth. If it doesn't rock back and forth, then we know that that's what we got. And you know, just as long as we don't have a gap in there, when it sits nice and flat on there, that way we know what it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna zoom back in. Okay, we're gonna take this radius gauge here and we'll put it over top of there, and we're gonna adjust these posts until they are right along the same radius as this is. We're going to do the same thing on the other one, and that way these posts will be the exact same distance off of the string. So they should have the exact same pull on the string, and you know, it should be a little bit more harmonious and things like that. So when I get done doing that, I'll be right back. Alrighty, we got her all cleaned up. We gave her a bath. Got her wiped down, got her dried up, man. You know, it was looking good before, but hey, it's even looking a little bit nicer now. A little bit even more shiny. But guess what time it is? it's time to put some strings on this thing. It really is. So the owner, Brent, he wants these Ultra Slinkies, Ernie Ball 10 through 48, a little bit heavier string. He says rhythm player, so he likes a little bit heavier string. But hey, it's an Ernie Ball, so hey, you can't go wrong with that, right? No way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open these up. Get these suckers down there. You know how we do. Hey, this one don't want to cooperate. I think Ernie sealed it up a little too tight. There we go. Oh, I love the smell. Oh, they smell so good. Fresh strings. Alright. Let's start with this big one. Number 48. And once again, when we're messing around with strings, we try to be careful, keep them away from our eyes, and keep them away from the guitar so we don't, you know, scratch anything up. Okay? So stick that big one right straight through that right there. Alright. And then, you know, once we get through here, we bring it down to this other end down here. Put your out, come on down here. Alright. Are we there? Alright. Then what I'm going to do is I use from my first knuckle right here to the end of my finger as a measuring tool as to how much I want to give up. So I put that, get that little extra long through in there, and I get it right there. And then, once I get it through there, take my turner, or my, my winder here, we'll start winding it up. And the first wrap is going to go over the one that's going through the hole. The part that's going through the hole. And then as soon as it gets over it, then we'll straighten it right straight up. And then we'll finish tightening it. But the rest of the turns go underneath the string going through the hole. Okay? That's usually how I do it. And that gives enough string on the post to get a good bite. So it's not going to slip or anything like that. But you're not putting more string on there than what you really need to. If you see what I mean. Okay? And then we're going to clip that off real nice and tight. Come on. Ah, we go. And that about does it for that. We got the first string on there. We just leave these loose until we get them all on there. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the strings on this. And when we get done, or when I get done, I'll be back. Alrighty. We have been busy on this thing. We got the strings all attached. You know, we got all installed. And we got the bridge all set. And what we did is we set the string height. We got the string height right. And then we set the radius of the bridge. And, you know, we already determined that the radius of the fretboard was 9.5. Okay, so we took our 9.5 inch radius here and we put it on the strings. We used our little floppy feeler gauge again, and we went across the top of here, and we made sure that that was not touching on any of these right here. So, and that is looking real good. Whew, got a fly flying on me. Anyways, we got this all radiused right here, so that when you strum across there, the strings are all at the same level. There's not one string that's higher than the other, so one's not catching, you know, and that's real important to make for, you know, smooth playing, so that the string is where you expect it to be. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to set the string height. Set the pickup height. And we've got a little homemade gauge here that's non-magnetic, and we'd like to set it with this little tiny gauge here. And basically what we're going to do is, let's see if we can tighten it a little bit. And then we'll put that out. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this little gauge right here, we're going to stick it underneath the pickup right here. And right now it's sitting at about 4 thousandths or so. And I want it to be up a little bit higher, so we're going to bring it up a little bit. And I want it to be at about 3, just a little bit past 3, just a little bit past 3. It kind of puts it in a good area. We're going to keep bringing it up until it's right about where we want it. 3, 3.5, right in that area. And that's millimeters. See this little piece of a clothespin that I have here? has been measured with a micrometer, and I put the lines where I know that there's 3 and 4 millimeters. So, you know, I'm accurate. I just like to have something that's non-magnetic right here, so it's not, you know, pushing stuff around and, you know, I get in there and measure without having the magnetism messing me up. And we're going to put both these, this one here, I'll put just a little bit tighter than the other one. Yeah, just about right like that. Maybe just back it out just a hair. Because, you know, there is a difference in the thickness of the string, so we try to compensate for that a little bit by just making it a little bit on the tight side. I'll take it down just a hair. It's got these stupid pickups that want to flip around when you screw it. That's one thing I don't like about humbuckers. Sometimes you try to adjust them, and they don't come straight up. They turn a little bit. All right, we're going to be happy with that right there. And of course, this one's got to come up. Squeeze me. That one's got square or straight head screws in it. All right. See where that one's at. One more. We're getting there. And see, what I did is I turned it until that pickup flattened back out again. See, it kind of goes up on the one side, then comes back up until it flattens back out again. Well, 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 well. How about right there? How's that looking? That's where I want it, right there. See where this side's looking. This side just needs a little tiny turn. And when we get done and we play this, we're gonna play this. We're gonna make sure everything sounds nice and level, and all this, you know, all the levels are the same, and everything's, you know, on the kosher side. You know, everything's cool. Right there, I like that. I like to make the bridge pickup just a little bit tighter. Because when you flip over the bridge, you want a little bit more oomph than you are with the neck pickup. So, you know, neck pickup is more in the warm spot. That the bridge one is more in the hot spot. Okay, we got the bridge. We got the radius on the pickups all set, so it's matching the radius of the strings. We got the strings all radiused. We got the pickup height set. You know what we're going to do now? We're going to tune this thing up, and we're going to stretch the strings. And the way we do that is we're going to widen back out, okay? And basically what you do is you tune the string up, you tune it up to where you want it, and then you just sort of take it and give it a little bend like that. Maybe a little yank up like that. And you just keep doing that, okay? And then you go back and you tune it up again. And then you do that again. And you keep doing that over and over again, stretching it and tuning it, stretching and tuning it until it stays in tune after you've stretched it. You stretch it and it stays in tune. You go back, hey, it's still in tune. That's when you can stop. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And when I get done with that, I'll be right back. Well, 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 well. Looky, looky, looky here. We got this thing all taken care of. Well, we pretty much got it all taken care of. Let me see if I can widen it. There we go. Well, what we did is we went ahead and put some strings on it. You know, we got the strings all on there. And we got the pickup height set just perfect. We got the radius for the strings here, so they're nice and level and radiused across there. But there was a few problems once I got it all set up and stuff, or got it the strings on it and everything. The bridge was a little bit too low, and in order to get the right string height, I would have had to have raised these saddles way up, way too far, and I didn't want to raise them up too far. Zoom in a little bit here. You know, these saddles here, I didn't want them raised way up because they got the little set screws in there, okay? Down here, try this end. They got the little set screws in there, and I didn't want the set screws extended all the way because that's not good, you know. If they're too too much set screw sticking out through there. It's just not, it's not sitting right. It's going to slip. It's going to, something's going to happen. I didn't like it. So I had to put a shim underneath the bridge here just to hold it up a little bit. And we have this, what we call blocked down, so that it's not going to move. And because I didn't ask him, but I seriously think that he doesn't, he says he's just a rhythm player, so I doubt if he uses the tremolo too much. So what we did is we went ahead and we put a block in the back there. So we blocked off that tremolo right there. So it's not going to go anywhere, and this thing is good and solid, and it's going to stay in tune, and it's going to do what a guitar is supposed to do. We got the intonation all set, which was pretty much right on the money. All I had to do was just make a couple little adjustments. We had to adjust the truss rod because the truss rod was, I didn't have any relief in the neck, so I had to go to the truss, adjust the truss rod out a little bit. So we got a little bit of relief in the neck. So it's just right. We got, the notes are playing perfectly up and down the neck. The string house right. Everything is doing just right. We got the pickup set. And all we got to do now is just give it a nice clean up, wipe it down a little bit, and go give it a try. We'll see, make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to, and see how it sounds. So let me get this thing wrapped up, and we'll be ready to go give it a try. Well, alrighty, we got it all cleaned up. Got the case all cleaned up and everything. And boy, she sure is looking good. Oh, dog. Look at that. I mean, look at that wood. That is just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. With the natural grain binding around the wood, binding around the outside. No, I think that's called a root beer burst, because that is really, really sweet. And it kind of looks like root beer, doesn't it? And the neck, with those beautiful inlays in there, came out just perfect. It is ultra smooth. And you know, this guitar wasn't starting off too bad, but it did have a few little issues in it. You know, it did have a few little things that needed attention. But it turned out really, really nice. We even take a look at the back of it here. Look at that wood on the back. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. The back of that neck. That PRS, that sure is a nice guitar. You know, the only thing that, well, maybe we won't rub it in too much, but she got a little wound down there. You know, somebody dropped her. Probably fell off the strap or something like that. You know, it's a clunk. But man, we sure got it going good. And well, let's see what she says. Look at that. Oh, that was with the tone all the way off. There's the tone. Now I'm gonna turn the tone up. Watch. Look at that. Now that's the neck pickup. Now switch her over to the both pickups, and then just the bridge pickup. And that tone works real nice. There's the tone all the way. Back in the middle. Neck. Sure is looking good. Sounding good too. And the amp that we're playing through is the PV Prowler that I rescued from the dumpster at Guitar Center. Their loss, my gain. Thank you very much. I had to bring it back, clean it up a little bit. And the reverb doesn't really work too good on it, but everything else works real nice. So kudos to me. Now I think Brent is really gonna like this guitar, you know. It's got a nice does sound good. You know, it's well worth the money. Get your guitar Mojo, get it set up, have it gone over. Even if you buy a really good, expensive guitar with all the bells and whistles, it still needs a setup. It still needs that love. It needs to be put right in the bullseye, in the sweet spot, so that it's playing, so that you're getting every last dollar out of your guitar that you should. So you're getting all the enjoyment out of your guitar that you should. Because if you buy a new guitar and you don't have it set up, and the notes aren't playing perfectly up and down the neck, and you know, and it's just not the way you want it, you're not getting the full enjoyment out of your guitar. So you're not getting the full benefit of your money, basically. And you know, you can bring in any old guitar, and get it mojoed, and man, it's worth its weight in gold. I'll tell you one thing. And well, I got a little bone to pick with a lot of people here. See, a lot of people that are watching ain't subscribed, and you know, I'm sitting at about 830 subscribers, and you know, I'm trying to reach 1,000 and beyond. And you know, I really would like to see this channel go far. So if you like what you see, if you like listening to, if you like watching Mojo Shop Guitar, and maybe you've learned a few things off this, or maybe you're just you know, just some kind of a nut who likes guitars, you know, there's a lot of us out there. You know, tell your buddies, tell your friends, you know, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't take anything, it doesn't cost anything. All you gotta do is turn on the channel, and I don't care if you have it on, have a video on for 2 seconds. If that's all it takes you to subscribe, then thank you very much. I appreciate it, because you know, that's how we get paid here on YouTube, and I've been doing this for about 2.5, 3 years now, and I'm still trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and it's tough. It really is. So I'm asking for everybody's help and get me to 1,000 subscribers. So you know, if you're feeling generous and you're not feeling froggy, take 2 seconds, pause the stupid video. You know, hey, put me on pause, please do, and go and subscribe, and then come back and pick it on up, watch the rest of the video. Or, you know, just go on to the next video if you want to, but you subscribe, and that's really what's most important to me. But I think we're going to call this one another successful build. And you know what? I got another one of Brent's guitars here that I'm going to go through too. So, well, on to the next one. I'll tell you one thing, and that other one's, oh, real nice. Oh, you're going to really love this one. You know, but I'm going to say, well, you know what we say at the end of these videos? We say, adios for now, from Mojo Shop Guitar. Baby!
Thank you for watching Mojo Shop Guitar. Please like and subscribe.